Technically, we're potting right now.
How you feeling, Jamie? How you feel about
I'm
us
good.
podding, Jamie?
I'm happy to be potting.
We didn't even give you any time to warm up to the pod. We just clicked record, and here you are.
That's how I like it.
Can you give us an update on Jack's surgery? How's he doing?
He's good. He's doing good. Surgery. It was like a factory. We showed up there at like 7:15. There was already 2 kids that had gone. There was probably 8 kids under 4. They all got surgeries, and then there was like adults. He was really brave. They didn't let us go back with him before they put him out, but clearly the nurses are like really good with the kids. So we were waiting in this waiting area on a little hospital bed, and he was getting a little antsy because he wasn't allowed to eat or drink. And then they came in and they're like, we're going to make this a race car, and you're going to hold on to the sides, and we're going to zoom you around, and you're going to meet mommy and daddy at the end of the race. And he was like, okay. And so he just waved goodbye. And of course we were distraught. And
1
then,
to 10, where are you as far as anxiety, sadness? Like, what are the emotions?
I'm like a 6 because I'm seeing the doctor keep coming out and talking to all the parents. Okay, he's awake, come back. You know, I know, and I knew it was the right thing, but still, like, your little one's back there being put out, and I wasn't with him. Like, to know that, you know, they were putting him under, it just made me nervous. Of course.
How was Cutter?
How do you think Cutter was?
I don't know, because let me tell you something. For a long time, I was the type of person who I would like the littlest thing would bother me so much. But then when I was in like real situations, I always handled myself very well.
That's yes.
So I don't know. He could be.
No, he was a mess. He's annoying, a mess, you know.
What's that mean?
He's like, that's not a race car. That's a hospital bed.
Yeah. Can you tell us what a messy Cutter looks
like? He'll look at me and just be like, we're doing the right thing, right? I'm like, can you stop? Like, he's back there.
That's what they called me in kindergarten.
What?
Messy Cutter. Go ahead.
Oh.
During arts and crafts?
That's for the kids. That's for the kids.
You know, just like pacing. And then he diverts when he's nervous and like started like wanting to talk about sex and stuff like that. And I'm like,
oh, wait a second.
So he's watching all these little kids come out and
he wants to talk about sex.
What? How does he? Because
we had sex the night before, and I think.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Fuck yeah, Cutter's getting it in, player.
Damn, what better place to bring it up when there's highlights magazines around you? You've got those little beads on the wires that go like this.
Oh yeah.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah. That gets me going.
Drowsy little.
Anyway, so the
sleepy little adenoidless kids walking around.
So the surgery took about 20 minutes. And then the doctor came out and said that his ears were so bad that one was about to rupture, would have made him lose his hearing. So it was like a really important thing that we did it.
I feel like they always say
that's
that.
very dramatic. If it was 2 millimeters over, you would have lost the ability to walk.
If he was a little slower with that race car to the back.
Well, I bought it. And maybe he tells parents that so they feel better about their decision. Who knows? But I was going along with it. And then it took him like an hour to wake up. And when they came out, the nurses were like, he just woke up. He's really upset. I was like, okay. So we go back, and he was upset mainly because he had an IV in his arm.
Ugh.
I know, but she's like, he's wasted right now, basically, you know? So he was just sitting there like, wow, like just wide eyes looking around, just like wailing. Even when he saw me, and he just kept being like, you're my mommy. And I'm like, I'm your mommy, buddy. It's okay. I know. Then he came home and he like slept in my bed for a couple hours, and that was fine. The only thing he doesn't like is you have to do drops in your ears, and he hates that. But honestly, other than that, it was pretty.
Who won the race?
What was his time? How was Bo? Did he give a shit? Was he like, he'll be fine?
He was nervous. We dropped him off at a friend's house in the morning to have him being brought to school because he said he didn't want to be anywhere near it. As soon as he got off the bus, he had drawn Jack a picture at school, and he was really concerned. Yeah.
There's a ruptured ear. There's blood.
It's an adenoid with arms and legs.
He does. He leaks blood though all the time from his ear.
All the time?
Yeah.
Leaking. Jesus.
Well, that's from smashing all those beer cans on his
Yeah.
head.
Probably.
Watch this, Mom.
That has nothing to do with the surgery.
So what happens? They wheel, or Jack pushes the thing away, and Cutter turns to you and goes, "So how about last night?" Or is he like last night, huh?
I was really
I don't remember exactly what he said. He always likes reviews. Like he always wants me to give my review of how
women
was it
love
last
that.
night.
I know women love that. There's one thing I know is after you bang a chick, she wants to give a review to you.
Exactly. It's exactly what I want to do, is tell you all about it. Give you a number rating. Just let me watch Summer House and fall asleep.
That's a good sign. It's a sign of a healthy sex life, be able to debrief after a debrief.
But I don't want to. He would love to.
Of course not. Women despise that shit. You know what I mean?
It takes all the romance out of it.
I did have to tell him though recently, because Cutter's the type of guy that he wants every time to be mind blowing. And
good for him.
He's a baseball player. He should know that you got to get some singles and doubles in, before you start worrying about home runs. On
when
base.
I told him I was like, listen, when it's like vacation sex and hotel sex, I am down for it being a ride, literally.
Getting real weird. Yeah.
But on like a weeknight, when we're like in our lives, like, let's just both get off and go to bed. I don't feel like
in our lives.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, what's the difference? What's the difference between both getting off and going to bed and wanting something to be like incredible and like what he wants?
Well, that's what he always wants. I just I don't want it to last a long time. I don't want to make out. I don't.
Yes. Just
poor guy. He's gonna be so mad at me that I'm talking.
Like, I just want him to stick it in and come.
Well, no, let's.
No, it's not that.
Let's show some empathy to Cutter here.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm right and he's wrong. I feel bad, but.
I love this. You're so open on this pod, and
I know, but then I forget that it's out there and that people listen to this.
That's why people listen to us, because you're so available.
Yeah, but when I have random people write me that are like, "Oh, I listened to Pajama Pants this week," I'm like, "Oh, what did I say?"
But it's also you're just like,
a human being.
I don't think there's anything weird about saying like, "Hey, I had a long day. I just want to fuck quick, get off and go to bed." Like, I don't think you're saying it. Like, you're basically saying like Cutter wants to have like really nice, great sex, and you sometimes want quick sex. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. I don't want to disrespect him, but he's we
do that in other ways. We're not doing it right
correct.
now.
I just want to do like this, and then go to bed.
Oh, shout out Theragun. Yeah.
He did send
Jamie's
me
coming with the fucking
damn. She's being a bad girl today.
But she's coming with the sound effects.
There was a girl that was on his podcast recently. He sent me a clip of it saying that she uses this on her vajayjay.
On whose podcast?
It's too strong.
Call her daddy or call me daddy.
Oh, yeah. Listen, there are some. It's crazy, man.
There's porn.
You must have a clitoris that is calloused and hardened.
I'm telling you, man. That's the thing. That's why, like, when guys want to have that idea of like, well, I don't need to talk about sex. I know what women want. It's like you have no, like, that's what I think as I get older, that's what you learn the most. It's like you never know, because there are some girls who want that, what you're talking about, which is like the hardest, craziest, most. And then there are some girls who are like, I want to be touched like a flower, like a, like a lightly. And it's like trying to think like, dude, I know, like, when I was 17, it was like, you can't tell me like I know what, where it's
but I'll say as a woman, I didn't know until my 30s what I wanted. You don't know, like you really, I think once you get into your 30s, understand your body, what feels
right
good.
Now, you just want to be fucked really quick and go to bed.
In your 40s.
It's a race. Just like Jack.
I mean, I'm no longer in my 30s.
What about his breath? Can we go back? Wasn't he supposed to have dragon breath?
It wasn't that bad. The first day or two.
I was like, Jesus Christ, leave the man alone. I swear to God, I thought you were like, I was like, I think we need to chill.
I've been pro Cutter this whole time.
Oh, love. He's my favorite. I can't wait to see him.
I think
you know what? It was funny. I was giving.
For your man.
I do.
for longer. You
You
were actually what, James?
I was giving Jack a bath, and he was like on Instagram behind me, and I guess he had seen like my story of posting our latest episode, and then he just went to Pajama Pants and was watching a bunch of our little clips, and he was like, "I miss them so much. When are they coming?"
That's so nice. We're coming the May.
Are you bringing
Mid-
Sarah?
May.
Possibly. Let me.
I just got worried for a minute.
No, I haven't asked her yet. She's in the other
I know,
room.
but I was like,
I just remembered that I
have. She was no longer in your life or something, and I just got very scared.
Oh no, she's in the other room.
Okay, good. I'll
She
have
just did her
plenty of
pod.
cans for her.
She did her pod just before this pod with Josh Potter.
Oh, he was here?
He was here.
Oh, fuck.
Go check out the latest episode of Shank, and then she did his pod. Josh Potter's
Lots of podding going on over there.
Lots of
in Culver
podding with
City.
pod.
Yeah.
This is Pod Central.
I got unless you just wanted, were you about to say something?
Well, I got some emails, some news, some questions. You tell me where you want to go.
I got a DM from a girl named Michelle, and I think it's one of the best questions we ever got.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And it was like, well, first it was questioned like, Rob, would you do a Super Bowl commercial for Sbarro's? But really what I think the question is like, what would you have the hardest time doing a Super Bowl commercial for? Like, if it was like, you know, like McDonald's or like what was the thing they would like? Listen, when they said like, hey, you want to do Chevy? I was like, sure. Like, you know, there was no even thought behind like, why would I not do Chevy? But where does it start to get dicey for you? Like, I know for me, it's tough with like food, like McDonald's. I'd be like, man, but then so many people eat McDonald's that I'm also like, it doesn't matter. Like,
no,
you love me and I eat McDonald's.
Kanye West just did a McDonald's commercial.
But I'm saying like, if I'm promoting this thing, you know, like what do I feel like I shouldn't be
really
promoting?
So I'll go real fast.
Please.
Yeah.
It will. It's
don't you not. This
I'll
isn't
play,
like,
it's a race.
Cutter. It's not like Cutter. Take your time.
It's a race.
We're here all night.
Okay, so to
I
answer
won't
your
rush
question,
you.
There's a couple things. I would definitely do this, but I would be slightly embarrassed about it, but I'd forget about it with the check. And that would be like if there was a Super Bowl herpes medication commercial.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay, that's always sort of like the thing when you're an actor.
But if we're talking like 7 figures.
Yeah, I would do it. The only thing I think I would really have pause over is like if I was endorsing like a political party that I didn't, you know,
that's a good answer.
I didn't agree with.
Oh, I don't give a
fuck good answer.
About that. I'd be like,
if Trump,
sanctions for councilman.
If Trump wanted me like in his commercial, you know, I'd be like, I need to know how much.
Well, I think if you just take out Trump, because people have such issues with Trump, if you go before that forever, are there people who there would have been if you just forget Trump?
I'd say I would take pause with any sort of like conservative political ad. And then when I see the paycheck, I throw away all my beliefs.
Yeah.
Morality aside.
What if there was a commercial where you had to be like, I don't think women should be allowed to get abortions in Texas?
Here's the thing. I would probably do it if the pay was good. Because look, everyone in my personal life knows that I'm all for abortion. You know,
so then you have no career after this, so you better be making bank because then you're not getting hired after that.
I mean, if it's mid six figure deal,
you would do it for under $1 million.
Because then you give taxes, managers, agents. You're left with fucking $150,000 for.
Well, here's the reality of it. Regular actors in Super Bowl commercials like probably get paid not as much as maybe you guys got paid for sure, right?
No, so I think I would say an average, but if you're talking like big star, like if you're talking like Beyonce for Pepsi, she's probably getting $5 million.
Oh yeah. Beyonce for Pepsi, I'll sign that all day.
Yeah.
People don't always realize, and I am such a firm believer in this, that physical symptoms like headaches, when you grind your teeth, even digestive issues, right? Yes, are all indicators of stress. Okay.
Not being able to sleep at night.
There you go. And let's not forget about, doom scrolling, which I fall into those holes, sleeping too little, like you said, sleeping too much, undereating, overeating. Stress shows up in so many different ways. And in this world that's constantly telling us to do more and sleep less and, grind, we are here to remind you that you need to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy.
That's right. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. That's true. That's what happened with me. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Pajama Pants listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/pajama.
That's BETTERHELP.com/pajama.
Rob, do you start your day with athletic greens like I do?
So you know what I tend to do? I know they say like you just take one scoop and you put it in water and then blah, blah, blah. Like that's the easiest way to do it. I like to put it like in my already green drink, I always have like a green drink, like a vegetable drink, which is like 4 ingredients, but this is like 75 different ingredients. So I just take it, I put it in my vegetable drink and I drink it. Yeah.
Well, I start my day first thing with a large glass of water and then my athletic greens, which like you said, has 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. It's like putting everything good that you couldn't even get with all the food that you try to eat all day, all in one day. And it's such a wonderful, healthy habit to start. It tastes great. By the way, it is keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, nothing artificial. And like I said, tastes great.
This thing, it's like if you have 30 seconds, you could do athletic greens every morning because you're already going to have a glass of water, most likely. So you just take this, throw it in, feel great. So many great things in there for you. Do this for yourself.
That's right.
And the people you love.
There you go. So right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. So no need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/pajama. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/pajama to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
But Jamie, is there a price? Like, could we pay you enough money to into camera go, I'm voting for Ted Cruz. I'm voting against abortions and I'm building a wall. Like, is there an amount of money that you would take that would
I don't think I could do it
front and center?
No.
$10 million
for sure. You know why? You do a commercial like that. You go to fucking Mexico for 8 years. You fly all your friends to your house. You come back in 8 years. This fucking world is gonna be so crazy. 8 years now, no one's gonna be like, "Hey, you voted for Ted Cruz." Like, get the fuck out of here, people. I couldn't tell you one fucking Super Bowl commercial from the last 10 years. I couldn't tell you 10 years ago who was endorsing what.
Well, they don't do for Jamie, it's different. For Super Bowl, right?
Jamie, it's different because she's a working actress,
and if
she has kids, if she's in this commercial, it's going to affect all her work.
Okay, but what if it's $5 million?
But she could make that. Theoretically, one great job comes along and she can make that.
And I can make that in a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could make this one day. You go,
but that's like the last of it, unless she starts doing what Kirk Cameron does and doing these like Jesus movies, that go straight to VOD.
$5 million? You're saying no, Yame?
Gina Carano, you have to be buddies with Gina Carano.
Yeah, because then my kids, I can't bring my kids to Mexico. That's not fair.
Why not? You got a fucking awesome house. You don't think education in Mexico is good?
I'm not familiar with their school systems. I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if we're talking like products. I don't know if there's anything that I wouldn't do.
Okay, here you go. How much would they have to pay you to do a commercial for a douche? Like a douchebag, and you're like,
for the Super Bowl?
Yeah. And it's
$5 million.
And here's the deal, right?
$5 million for a women's hygiene product.
It's from the waist up, and you're holding the bag, and the tube is clearly like going down.
and you see the liquid go in.
Is that how you do a douche? I've never done a douche.
Yeah.
No, you hang a bag on a door.
Jamie, I met your ex-husband. You've done a douche.
Wait, it's like a enema, but for your vagina?
Yeah. And there's like, well, what do they put in there? Like vinegar?
Oh.
They're not making a salad down there.
What do they put in their balsamic?
What's
plate?
yours, Rob? What would you not
Yeah,
do?
what's yours, Robert?
I really struggle. Like, again, like I would think something like McDonald's, but the problem.
What if it was like it was like two men kissing and you were one of them and it was like legalized?
What if, no, I have no problem with that.
You'd have to kiss dudes.
Two men. No. Now you said two men kissing.
No, you're one of them.
No. Then that's not. Listen, if it's for millions of dollars, if I have to do like a peck on the lips, but I'm not making out.
Wait,
you've got to make it believable that
Scorsese or who's your favorite director?
Scorsese.
I like when Chasm tells me what to do.
It's his favorite. Next question.
Scorsese. Yeah.
Scorsese calls you. He's like, Rob, I got my next huge movie. I loved you on Sopranos. I feel
Believable
like
so far. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. I just like I watched your performance and I thought of you the entire time I wrote this film. I want you to play it. You're the lead of my movie. We're paying you $10 million and you're playing a gay man. And there's some sex and stuff in the film.
No, I
really.
But listen, again, if I had to kiss a dude, just like on the lips, yes. Once it gets to like, if I'm laying in a bed with a guy and our clothes are off and we're making out, like it's just not happening. Like I'm not, again, because, and it doesn't matter. I wouldn't do it once, but also you're doing this shit over and over. Like there's no, like you're a gay dude at that point. Like you're just a gay guy. Like, you know, like I don't understand oh yeah, like, oh, what'd you do at work today? Like, yeah, I laid in bed with this guy and we made out like 20, 30 times while like another guy said like, put your hand here and get the fuck out. Yo, that's insane. that is insane.
People do it all the time.
People do it all the time. And they go home and they're straight.
Yeah.
So that's where, so you think what you do on the camera defines who you are sexually?
No. I just think like, it's not about I just think like if you're laying in a bed with a dude all day with your clothes off, making out, like you're to me.
But it's work. You're acting.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger, Brokeback Mountain.
What about sucking dick then?
Well, you're not going to do that.
But you wouldn't be sucking.
But I'm saying,
dick.
What's the difference between a dude sucking a dude's dick or laying in bed with him all day and making out?
Big difference. What do you mean there's a huge difference?
I don't see that much of a difference. I don't see that much of a difference.
This is great.
Chasm.
This is fun.
Rob, this is the first time I've ever heard you say something that my mind is blown. That makes no sense. Say again
your point. Maybe we misheard it.
If you're laying in a bed all day with your clothes off with a guy,
shooting a movie
while another guy is like, hey, put your arm around his head.
Yeah.
Or then you're saying, hey, for work, I'm sucking a dick. I don't think there's that much of a difference.
No one's asking you to do that. You're not doing
I'm saying,
wait,
what is my question? I'm not saying somebody did. My question was, what is the difference?
Let me clarify your question.
If I said penis in your mouth and making out with somebody is very different.
Did you say a penis in your mouth on camera versus off camera?
Yeah, I'm talking about working. Like if you're
both working, you're cuddling with a guy on camera and sucking a dick on camera.
Right. You were saying, but it's work. And I'm saying, okay, what if I said, hey, so, like in the scene, if Scorsese's like, man, you know what? I loved you so much in Sopranos that I think this scene, like you just start sucking his dick. And I go, well, that's work. Like this is work. Scorsese told me to do it. Like, this isn't gay. Like what? Like just because we see the bases as being like first base is making out, second base is this, third base is this.
You think it's like, just all gay no matter what?
Yeah, and
if you're doing it on camera and you're not gay, but you're told to cuddle with a guy, that's gay.
If no, I'm saying to me, if you're making out with a guy on camera and you're doing it all day, you're playing this other gay guy, your guys are rubbing each other, your clothes are off, you're this. I don't think there's that much of a difference between Ben sucking a dick in a scene.
Oh yeah, I do. But like, here's me, like I put my arm around you, right? We're on camera. this is fine, but like if I started sucking your dick, that'd be a pretty big jump.
Well,
for me.
there's a big difference between putting your arm around somebody, which people do who are just friends, and laying in a bed with your clothes off, making out. I think there's a bigger,
for sure, but then there's an even bigger jump to
I-
sucking dick.
I think
just
there's a
think
bigger jump. Wait, Jamie. I think there's a
hear
bigger,
him out here, Jamie.
I think there's a bigger jump between putting your arm around somebody,
Yeah.
to laying in bed with your clothes off, making out all day, compared to the jump between laying in bed, making out with somebody all day, and sucking dick. And the reason is, I'll put my arm around my mom. Arm around my dad.
Making out with someone all day for sure. Yeah, there's a big jump from
that's
putting your
what
arm
this is.
around.
When you do a scene, how long does a scene take, Jamie? All day. If you're making a fucking love scene in a bed with your clothes
probably
off,
bangs that shit out.
Okay, so now we're taking
no pun intended.
6 hours is different than 12 hours. Laying in a bed with a dude for 6 hours with your clothes off, making out and rubbing is different than 9 hours in a bed with this is what you're doing. I've done sex scenes before. There were times where for 8 hours straight, it was just us with our clothes off.
But also like sucking dick is like something you wouldn't probably do on camera. It would be simulated. So like for you having to do that, you'd probably be shooting a porn and then you would.
What was that bunny? Route 66. What was Bunny 66? What was that movie where what's her name sucked the guy's cock?
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, Jamie, you know.
It's an actual movie?
Yeah, Chloe Sevigny.
Oh.
She sucked that guy's
Abel
Buffalo
Ferrara?
66.
Buffalo
I don't think I
66.
saw it.
Buffalo 66. You should check it out.
Let me put it on my Hulu.
Yeah, Haley.
Haley.
But
Haley.
What a fun conversation this has been, huh?
Yeah, I just for me.
Look,
So
I
you
think
wouldn't
the
be
moral
in
of the
the-
story is
the
Rob
next
is
source-
uncomfortable
Yeah.
playing a homosexual.
Right.
Well, no,
You
it's
just
not
wouldn't be
even-
comfortable doing that.
Sure.
Not that you're prejudiced against.
No,
you're
no,
just
no.
not comfortable.
No, it's
No,
just not
I'm
and
not.
that's fine.
I'm not uncomfortable playing a homosexual. I'm uncomfortable being gay with another dude. Like if I'm laying in bed making out with him
But
with our
that's
clothes off.
But that's also
That's
playing a
acting.
homosexual.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that's it. That homosexual also get his dick sucked, right, by dudes. But why isn't he getting his dick sucked in the movie?
That's just not something you see in like a movie like that unless you're watching porn. You don't see full blown dick sucking, really. You know, you
But
wouldn't.
you
You,
could-
probably
you could
would never
play-
have to do that in a Scorsese movie.
What I'm saying is,
I'm
you're
regretting
telling me,
that I ever asked you this question.
You're telling
No,
me
you did great. James.
You're telling me. Oh, really? You don't like this conversation, Jamie? I think it's great pod. Why don't you like this conversation?
Well, first of all, I think that you are just you're going too far with it. Like no one sucking a dick is like so far down a line that like there's some actors that I didn't like fucking making out with, men.
Mhm.
And I had to do it all day, you know, and it wasn't enjoyable, but I was playing a part and we did it. Like that I had zero, like I probably had more sexual, you know, chemistry with another woman that was there than, and you know, I'm like not into women at all, but like,
Interesting.
Woman.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not into women.
I'm not into woman at all.
I'm
Did you
not.
say woman poop?
Women.
Woman poop.
Me poop.
Yeah,
You know,
I hear your point.
But listen, I understand. We just have different opinions. That
Yes.
I personally think if you're laying in bed with somebody with your clothes off, making out all day, I don't think sucking a dick is that far of a jump. I just don't. Like, because you know what? I don't know. 80% of the time I've ever laid in bed with a woman and we had our clothes off and we made out for hours. Guess what happened next?
She went down.
Yeah, or I went down on her. There was more. So I don't see how that's such a jump. I feel like that's what happened.
That's real life.
But I'm just saying, but I'm saying to me, the act of me laying in that bed with that guy, doing all that stuff all day
Just take the all day out of it.
is not that far off from sucking dick.
It's
But
either
then-
it's either you're sucking dick all day, and you're making out all day, or we'll just pretend like it's a one shot scene, and he's gonna do one take, and you got to kiss this guy and like spoon him in bed for a Scorsese movie where you potentially
like,
could
have
be
you seen
nominated for an
Brokeback Mountain?
Oscar.
No.
Have you seen Brokeback Mountain?
Oh,
No,
of
I'm
course,
just
I
kidding.
loved it. Ang
No.
Lee, great movie.
Yeah, of course. Angie Lee.
Hey, Ang Lee.
Hey, Angie Lee.
I love my sheets.
Oh.
I love my sheets. I
Speaking of
love
sheets.
to sleep on my sheets.
This is the best time of year. That was a great jingle.
Can they have that slogan for free? That jingle for free?
I like to sleep on my sheets.
Wow.
My
Damn.
attitude sheets.
By the way, we talk about like, oh, what commercial would you do for? You just got a Broadway star singing your jingle.
Yeah.
Silky soft, clean bamboo, 500 times less water than cotton.
That's so good.
Wow, Jamie. God, it's been 20 years since she's been on Broadway, but it's like riding a bike.
Yep.
God.
Made of cotton.
Really, truly, you guys, attitude sheets are made of clean bamboo. It feels like silk, is more eco-conscious than cotton. There's a cooling systems, breathable, so it's not.
Yeah, it's summertime.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
sweaty
summertime.
sheets.
It's getting warm, and I gotta tell you, I do this transition from my winter sheets to my summer sheets, and the attitude ones keep me cooler because that in the summertime it gets kind of warm. I do a complete change up of the type of sheet, and nothing better and nothing cleaner than the attitude that I have on my bed right now.
Right now you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you visit attitude.com/pajama, spelled ETTITUDE.com/pajama. This is Attitude's best offer, but don't wait. It's only for a limited time. Order today for your free shipping with 20% off your order at
attitude.com/pajama.
Attitude.com.
I love to sleep on my sheets. I have never felt more dumb in my life than when the three of us tried to open our business banking checking account. You know, I think the three of us were real clueless.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say we could have used when we tried this a few years ago was Novo. Okay? And Novo Business Checking. It is powerfully simple. It makes business checking easy, and it's unlike the traditional banking model. It has no minimum balances, no transaction limits, no hidden fees. It's just customized to your business. So it saves time, it frees up cash flow, and with seamless integrations to Stripe, Shopify, QuickBooks, online, and more, it's a no-brainer.
That's right. Sign up for your free business checking account right now at novo.co/pajama. Plus, Pajama Pants listeners get access to over $5,000 in perks and discounts. Go to novo.co/pajama to sign up for free. novo.co/pajama.
Novo Platform Inc. is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services provided by Middlesex Federal Savings, FA, member FDIC. Terms and conditions may apply.
That's fun, guys. What's your opinion? You're watching this on YouTube. This might get clipped out.
No way.
Clipped out for our socials.
Oh.
Let us know. No way.
Highlighted. Yeah, I thought you meant.
No, let us know.
Go. No, we're
do
keeping that in.
you guys think that there is no line once you're playing the role of a gay man and you're cuddling, that it's just not, it's a short leap to sucking a dick? Or do you feel like somebody who's straight could be able to do that role without having to worry about getting lost in the gay lifestyle? Yeah.
Here's the deal. Maybe I'm not a good enough of an actor. I'm not a trained actor. I was never touched. So to me,
good point.
When you're laying in bed with a dude all day making out, like maybe I don't have that thing that I could separate it. Like, oh, bro, we're just fucking working. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I'm a mostly straight guy. I mean, I think a lot of people watching this would be like, I could question that, but I feel like if Scorsese was like, I need you for one scene in this scene, you gotta kiss this dude, hold a hand, and spoon with your shirts off in bed for my movie, I'd be like, yeah, where do I sign up?
You've kissed a dude on camera before, and like George was directing,
right? For sketch comedy.
Yeah. So,
but I have no problem with it. Like, I think it's all about like, because I go home and then like I have sex with my girlfriend. I don't worry about like, oh man, did I like that? Did I not like that? It's just work to me, you know.
Yeah,
it bleeds through for you, where it's like it would start to mess with your head a little bit. It sounds like.
I wouldn't know because I haven't done it, but I just feel like the idea of doing it is uncomfortable to think like. And by the way, it really does come down.
And that's
to
fair.
And it's the same thing as Jamie saying like I had to kiss guys that I was and some people are not okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's fucking people on what was that show with the dragons and shit,
Game of Thrones.
On Game of Thrones, where like she did a naked scene in the beginning, and then once she got her say, she's like, hey, I'm not comfortable with that. Like,
Right.
I don't want to do that. I refuse. So it's like people make these compromises to get their career going. And then they go, actually, I don't want to do that. Where like, I don't know.
Well, I love it. Well, Scorsese, you know not who not to call for your next gay movie. I got a fun article that I want to read you guys.
Whatever you.
Me and Sarah were talking about this today. The title of this is Southwest Airlines passenger masturbates 4 times mid-flight and calls it kind of kinky.
That's kind of kinky.
He called it kind of the masturbator called it kinky.
Yeah. Passenger accused of masturbating 4 times on a Southwest flight. A Southwest Airlines flight from Seattle to Phoenix turned into a touchy situation. Such good writing. After one of the passengers reportedly pulled down his pants and masturbated at least 4 times in front of a female passenger during a 3-hour flight. Antonio Sherrard McGarity was arrested in Phoenix when Southwest Flight 3814 landed in Sky Harbor International Airport. According to the arrest document obtained by the Daily Beast, McGarity admitted the public masturbation and said he didn't do anything wrong. He added that he thought the whole incident was kind of kinky. According to the document, which only gave the man's name, shortly after the plane took off, McGarity allegedly exposed his penis by pulling down his pants and shorts and began masturbating. The woman seated next to McGarity reacted by taking pictures of him engaged in the act. After he fell asleep, the female passenger told a crew member about her experience and she was allowed to move to another seat. The woman later told Phoenix police officers that she saw the man masturbate 4 times using both hands.
At the same time, I wonder?
She also suspected he reached orgasm at least once since she saw him licking a white... He reached orgasm at least once since she saw him licking a white substance from his fingers.
I'll tell you, this guy would do the Scorsese movie.
This guy for sure. McGarity allegedly admitted...
Would you do the movie based on this guy?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you play him?
Can I put like mayonnaise on my fingers or something, or does it have to be really my cum?
No, it's got to be real cum. McGarity allegedly admitted masturbating to orgasm to FBI agents and said he asked the woman who reported it if she minded him doing it. Oh, okay. He said the woman simply put her hands in the air and said, "It really doesn't matter." McGarity faces charges for lewd, indecent, or obscene acts on an aircraft. In addition, Southwest said it has placed McGarity on a no-fly list, which means he's banned from traveling on the airline for life.
Why
Thoughts,
the
Jamie?
fuck did she take pictures?
She probably wanted evidence.
That's what everyone does these days, Jamie. I was
Jamie,
How
what
is
would
her
happen?
word not enough?
Jamie, what would happen? You're on a flight every week.
It. She's in on it. Something's going on.
Oh,
This
you
is
think there's
weird.
something hokey, some shenanigans?
This is weird. I mean, first of all, what's happening with this guy that in a 3-hour flight he like had to get it done?
Yeah,
4
that's
times.
I like this. I like that.
Why can't he go to the bathroom?
4 times? Well, he obviously gets off on the
Right.
indecent exposure.
Right.
I like
What's really important is, did he keep his mask on the whole time?
That's a great point.
Because if he
Very
didn't,
No, that's a great point.
that'll really make me angry.
I think this is low key. Like maybe this guy planted this story in the press because he's a 2-handed masturbator. You know, now he's got
He was
this
wanting a porn deal.
Yeah, he's like, it's 2 hands. That made it in the Huffington Post. How many people can say that? I got the stamina to go 4 times in 3 hours, and I need 2 hands.
Could you imagine if
Is there a picture of this guy?
No.
the woman
I want to
has?
know what he looks like. He
Well,
has
we have
like
his
4
full
different
name.
nationalities in his name.
Could you imagine the stewardess came over and was like, you can't be masturbating on this plane. And he's like, oh, but my food's here. They said when your food's here,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Mask off, pants down. As he's licking the white substance.
But my food's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, sorry. I didn't see you. You had a roll.
Jamie, have you ever been in a situation like this? Maybe not on an airplane, but on a subway, or just you walked to your car in the Costco parking lot. Somebody.
I've never seen anyone masturbate in public.
Yeah. Good for
Oh,
you.
wow. I have.
Yeah.
You have.
In
Yeah.
New
Oh,
York
that explains it. That explains it.
No. It was a woman.
or in Vegas.
It was a woman.
I saw a girl fuck herself with a beer bottle in a pool in Vegas at a club while there were like hundreds of people around. This girl, dude, living in Vegas, you see the
She had to been on a lot of drugs.
Ever. Yeah, or she was just an entertainer, you know. She got on the
party
bed and, like she was on a bed in the middle of the pool and people were like all around doing everything and she just like started
a bed in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, there was a bed in the middle of the pool.
Not a floating mattress. It was an actual just.
Yeah, it was like a real, like it wasn't like a
day bed.
Your bed at home. Yeah, it was like a round bed. And she started by just like masturbating and everyone was like, yeah, like going crazy and like screaming. And then somebody like tossed a beer bottle up there and she fucking took it and started banging herself with it.
Wow.
And what security's not going to jump in the pool. So it was just fucking, everybody just stood around watching and.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually, I thought about something while you were talking about that. And it's like, I think the thing that I think about is like, when you say like, oh, well, I'm going to make out with this guy and it's not going to lead into like whatever. Anytime I've ever made out with somebody, it is always like a sexually arousing thing. So it's like, oh yeah,
but like,
and you mean, because your female co-stars were wonderful. It was like Emily, Danya, like all these women that you had to make out with and stuff. You maybe have never had to have an on-camera sexual thing where it was not sexual at all.
Or even if it wasn't sexual because there were so many people around, there was technical in this, it was pleasant. Like it wasn't unpleasant, you know?
See, I've had unpleasant ones where it's just like, it's a job. This is your acting. Like, you know, there's no mistaking of anything. There's no like wondering of anything. You have a rough day at the office that day. That's all it is.
Jerry Ferrara.
Come on. No, not Jerry.
I'm kidding. We love him. So yeah, that was all I had to say about that.
Is there any part of you that like, when you're younger, you get real horny, you pop a lot of boners. Did you ever get in a situation where you're like, I'm going to rub one out right here, right now?
Yeah, I remember there were times in school where it was like pushing up against the desk because I was in like basketball shorts and I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Like, your
school was,
like, and rough. You know what I spent a lot of time thinking about? Like, I remember like my dick, like hitting the bottom of the desk and like looking around at girls and being like, are they this horny too? Like, yeah, I'm dying over here. Like, are they just not?
Yeah.
No, I mean, no.
Well, now I'm 37. But when I was like 12, 11, that's what I was like, Jesus. Like you just are I remember there was a time where like this kid was, I don't know why I just got reminded this. This kid was in a park and he was like fooling around with this chick. And then he was like, hey, everyone, like, look. And he had like his boner with like shorts on though, like basketball shorts. And he had like a bag hanging on it. Like like a shopping bag. And it was just like hanging on his boner. And he's like, everyone, look at this. And everybody was like looking at it.
Everyone looked at it.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh shit, he's like carrying a bag with his boner.
Was there stuff in the bag?
I don't know. This was a long time ago. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, man. When you're in high school, the amount of boners per day, it becomes
really?
It was a problem. Like there were several occasions where like you had to get up in front of the class and you just like couldn't. You ever do this? You're just sitting there and you're like trying to do anything to get your mind.
Yeah. What do you have to do? What do you do? Because
you have to like find a way. It's like, it's the same thing as meditating where you've got to like somehow take those thoughts and push them away.
Right.
So you stop thinking about it because when you start thinking about it,
you're actually not supposed to do that in meditation.
Well, the opposite, you know what I mean? Where you've got to like find a way to get your mind focused and like let go of the thing that because you start thinking about just that and gets more and more crazy. You're like, oh shit. And you start, and we didn't have cell phones back then. So there wasn't like, let me preoccupy or do anything. You just had to hope and pray that it would just go away by the time you needed, like school was out. There were several times where the bell rang and I just had to sit there and like put the papers in, put my book and
well, you got it.
My backpack. I got to zip up.
See that? Yeah, there are times where what I would do is you have to flip it up.
Oh, into your belt. Yeah, in your waistband.
Yeah,
that's a classic move. But that is still a move. And I remember I did that once and a girl saw me.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no. But like, yeah, because it's like, you've got to do a weird, like, you've got to like stick your butt out and do a thing. And it's
sitting down is
not,
it's not
easy to do. And
I would do it on the stand up, sitting down. It's really hard. Sitting up, that could be a real smooth, like easy move,
back when I was in high school, bigger, longer shirts were cooler, that's where there was it was a little easier to do that. I can't imagine now,
Is that why we wore those?
Yeah, to cover up our boners.
Jamie, do you remember me telling you about a guy who had like he took the tissue after he like put snot in it on 90 Day Fiance, and then he blamed it on his ADD?
No.
Did I bring that up? I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring that up on this pod.
Yeah, so that sounds familiar.
Really quick, this guy who's like such a sweetheart, and he's such a I love this guy on this reality show, 90 Day Fiance. He's like, he looks like he's always like this, and the woman's like, you look like a bug. Like everywhere I go, you're following me, and like you're just like there or whatever. And he just does these things that like even though I like him and she's like rough, I totally side with her on these things that he does that drive her insane. Where like they're in a cab and he blows his nose and he takes a tissue and he puts it in the back seat of the driver and he just like sticks it in there. And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, that is so fucking disgusting. Like somebody else now is going to stick their fingers in there and it's your snotty fucking tissues or whatever. And he's like, well, there's something I haven't told you. He's like, I have ADHD. Like I have ADD. Yeah. And then because there's like I guess because of the language barrier, or maybe she doesn't know about ADD or what, like she's kind of like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. Like where really that has nothing to do with it, dude. You're just gross. Like I have friends who have ADD. I might have ADD.
Well, in his defense, I think a little bit of ADHD is lack of impulse control, where you could think like, oh, I could stick the tissue there, but then you don't. And a person with ADHD could possibly lack the control to not do that. Do you know
I think if it was like, for me, I could be totally wrong about this. I have no idea. But if there was an 8-year-old with ADHD, I could see that. But I think when you're 40 years old, like, no, I just don't see like, and again, I could be wrong, but I just think you've learned.
Yeah.
You've learned before, that's not there. Or what I really think it is this guy's never had women in his life.
That's his go-to excuse.
Yeah. And he's been around old dudes, and dudes are just fucking gross a lot of the time. And like, so what I wanted to bring up that he did on this last fucking episode that I was like, God, this is crazy. And it's crazy to me. The reason why I'm such a germaphobe is because people think like this guy, and I have to fucking overthink to balance out these fucking people in my life where I'm like, oh, I gotta not do that, or like
because other people are gross.
Yeah, like there was this one, an old thing was on the Howard Stern show. This guy came in to like cook for them, like one of their like interns. And when he was cooking, they were like, oh, did you wash your hands before you cook? And he's like, yeah. And then they were like, oh, when did you wash your hands? And he was like, this morning before I left my house. And they're like, well, how did you get to work? He's like, I took the train. And like, he didn't find that disgusting at all. That like after being on the train all the way from Brooklyn to New York, he was cooking for them. And he's like, yeah, but I washed my hands early. And like, because people think that way, I'm like, well, I have to be nuts. Like, that's how my brain goes. Like, I have to always be, and I don't worry about those people now because of this. So what this guy did on the show was he stepped in, like the girl, they're sitting in the house and the girl goes like, she's like, she's like, oh my God, there's shit. And like, he's just sitting there like a bug, like looking up at her. Like he follows her all around, everything. And again, I love this guy. Like, he's such a sweetheart. I really like him. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. And she's like, what is that smell? She's looking everywhere. And then she's like, did you check your shoes? And like, of course he's clueless. Like, he would have never looked at his shoe. He looks at his shoe and there's just shit. Like, and she's like, yo, you fucking stepped in shit and you're dragging it around my fucking house or whatever. And he's like, oh, sorry. And he like runs out of the room. And then later the day, she's like, yo, you know what this fucking guy did? She's like, he went and took his shoes and threw them in the washing machine with the fucking shit all over him.
Oh, like didn't wash the shit off first?
Yeah. And then just washed them. And now there's fucking shit in the washing machine. And like, he's just sitting there like, has no clue what he's doing is gross or wrong, or like, why is that weird? And I'm like, man, I'm on her, even though he's like the nice person in the relationship and she seems not so nice at times. I'm so on her side with the shit where I'm like, if somebody is disgusting in this way to me, like I can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those things are probably teachable and like coachable. You know, maybe he's just never been in a situation. You know, when people like go to college and they get their first roommate and the roommate's like, hey man, like, why do you like spit into a cup on your nightstand? You know, like they do weird things and they're like, well, I've just lived at home my whole life. And now like people correct them. And so there's like a sharpening of who they become. But like,
you know, what's interesting? I think all the time with my kids, how I'm going, like my annoying asks or demands of them will someday serve them better in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I am making them have habits where they're used to a clean room. And I've cleaned it every single night. And now that they're a little older, they got to partake and they got to do it. And I will say there's times where like if I'm out of town and I come back and it's a little messy, like I'll watch Bo on the Nest and he'll start cleaning up because he's uncomfortable with how messy it's gotten.
Yeah.
You know, or I make
those are
them,
good things.
I don't let them have, like when they wake up in the morning or for meals, like they have to have a fruit and vegetable with every meal and they hate me and they think I'm so annoying and that I'm the worst, but I'm just hoping that I'll give them a better habit than what I had growing up where they like get used to eating better, things like that, you know, because I've been with enough men and seen like terrible habits where I'm like, where the fuck were you raised? Like, how did nobody teach you? How did somebody teach you that this is okay to live like this?
The way I feel is I think, and this is again, one of these things, I could be totally wrong. I don't fucking know. To me, I think you could teach somebody like, hey, that's a messy room. That's not a messy room. Or like, hey, this is how like the couch looking like this is like the way it looks neat and this is not. But I don't think you could teach somebody because it comes up so many different ways every day. What's disgusting and what's not disgusting.
You can.
See, I don't think so. Like, I think that guy now goes, I'm not going to take my snotty tissue and put them in the backseat of a car anymore. I don't think he goes, oh, I should watch all my snotty tissues and make sure I don't put my snotty tissue anywhere that somebody might have to touch it someday. Like, I don't think that that's what this guy does. I think he goes like, I was told the only reason he knows that that was wrong is because this woman told him in that exact scenario, don't do that. You're gross. I don't think and maybe it's just this guy. I don't think he goes around applying that to everything.
It's possible.
Okay.
I'm fucking worked up today.
If you got kids, to teach them how not to be gross.
On this thing, I think we could have like a new kind of thing on this show, like a new segment. And it's called, what is it called? Stupid, genius, or doesn't matter. To think like about how I think about gross shit and whatever. Here's something that I do. When I'm in the gym, I notice everybody, when you do like core work or stretching or whatever, I see everybody goes and they grab a mat and they put the mat on the floor and then you lay on the mat and you do your work.
Mm-hmm.
I do it on the floor. I don't use the mat. And the reason why is
the sweat?
Because those mats never get cleaned. Those mats are there for the floor gets cleaned every day. Those mats have been the same mats since I moved in 3 years ago. And nobody has ever cleaned them. They're disgusting. Every time I go to a gym and I see the mats, I'm like, ugh, like this is so gross. It's everyone's sweat. It's the dirt. It's this of 3 years where I'm like, they cleaned this floor yesterday. So is that genius, stupid, or doesn't matter?
Well,
Jamie.
Yeah. Okay. Jamie?
I just think the floor, like you're dealing with like everyone's like shoes walking all over the city or whatever, and then walking in there. Like
I see people walk on the mats with their shoes all the time. Oh, because I've thought about that.
But if I was using, I haven't been to a public gym in a very long time, but I would probably wipe down the mat.
That's a good idea.
Our gym did that before. When I was going to the gym, they had spray bottles and it was also during COVID where you had to wipe down everything.
Right.
But to me, like doing a sit up on like a mat is so much better for you and easier than just doing it on a hard
body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you are maybe staying a little cleaner, I don't know if it's that much cleaner than the floor, then it would be worth it for like your joints and bones to be on something squishy.
So sometimes what I do is I'll fold the mat because I only care that it's not touching my skin. I'll fold the mat in half so that I could, it could touch my
It's
back
just under
with
your
my
back. Yeah. With your clothes
with my
on.
shirt on or like my butt or whatever, because I have pants on, but not, I don't want it touching like my skin.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just something, you know.
No, I like that. I like, you had all my friends have the most eccentricities. So I love to see where your brain, how you come at things, you know, you're my little special R word.
Yeah.
I have questions from our subreddit and I have an email.
I think we go to the email
or from
first.
our Instagram.
I think that email is big.
Yep.
Jamie. Yeah. Remind Jamie of what happened last
If you
week.
guys, by the way, if you want to email us, it's askpajamapants@gmail.com. We usually read them. And this one comes from Evening Head 4310. Is that name Evening Head ring a bell to you, Jamie?
Yes.
Who is it?
Yeah, well, please explain to the listeners, James.
Didn't you read this already to me once before?
Okay. So on our Reddit, this guy was accused of bullying one of our finest content creators, Necromechanimal, who makes memes and things. And we were going to give Necromechanimal a $50, one of Rob's little $50 listener prizes. And he said upon getting Rob's message, no, I've been getting bullied by Evening Head. He says, I'm a menace to the sub. Maybe you give him the $50.
That's right.
It might, brighten his dark days.
Right.
So we got an email from Evening Head, from the source. And then I went on a whole rant at Evening Head. This is his response. I said two things to Necromechanimal since I joined the PJ Pants subreddits r/Pajama Pants podcast. He posts mainly spam, and I said he was a menace to the sub.
What does that mean? He posts mainly spam? I feel like everything he posts is great.
Maybe he thinks his memes are spam. The other incidents was when he posted about leaving the sub and then posted the next day or something. And I said, I thought you were quitting. Maybe a bit rude, but I really think he was overly dramatic. I'm not this huge asshole or anything. He's more of a bully to Cass in his posts than I am to anyone. Also, Rob sent me a message in chat and asked for my Venmo. I have 2 toddlers in daycare and baby number 3 is on the way. So I am in no place to turn money down. I love you guys. I don't mean any harm.
And let me say, a lot of people have, like, certain people have turned down the money, but also there have been things where it's like, oh, I'm in, this country and I can't, there's no way for me to get, I'm like, just download this app. What about this? I told them, I'm like, you could do.
Oh, you tried so hard.
I'm still doing it. We have we're half of the way done, but there's still people going out. But when I did speak to him, and by the way, you shouldn't turn down the money. It's someone's giving.
There's
away
2
money.
sides to every story.
When I spoke to him, he was a super nice guy. He was like the same way that like you and Cassim go at each other. He was like, I was kind of just going at this guy. Like I thought it was fun, but over text it could not come off the right way, and this and blah blah blah. So yeah, and he was like, but he did say to me, he was like, I can't tell you how bad it felt like when I was recognized as like the PJ Pants bully, and he was like, I'll never do anything like that again.
I feel bad.
Yeah, he was really sweet about it.
Well, this is exactly what we're talking about. We all have these things that we carry around in our lives that we learned probably from our parents. And then we go up against other people with those things. And sometimes those other people go like, no, you should shave that part off your personality. And then you become more streamlined and smooth and able to interact with people in a better way.
That's why like going to school is important, and
it's all about that socialization.
And yes.
Yeah. Well, look,
and I think it's the same way with like not knowing what every girl likes sexually. It's like sometimes
not me. I know everything.
I know. Sometimes you hang out with people who are all a certain way, and then you go to hang out with somebody else and you say something and they're like, oh, like, or like that. But, and maybe not even somebody who like these assholes who are offended by everything, but more so like that really just hit them the wrong way, or like, they're sensitive to.
Well, you don't know what triggers people. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just, I don't know, like the way that I was growing up, where it's like, if I love somebody with like, if you have a friend that you're like, I've known this friend for 10 years, like they could say anything about me because I know they know me, and I could say anything in front of them. There's never a time where I'm like, ooh, should I say that? Like, I'm like, yeah, because I know how much they care about me and how close we are. And
I've had to learn that the hard way, because I've always been, even in relationships, I've always been the person who says the thing that comes to their head without taking a pause. And that, has benefited me in lots of ways. But it's also like put me in really weird positions where I've said something like, oh, why did I say that? I have to explain why I said something the way I did, explain how I didn't mean, so it's like a double-edged sword. But what I think I'm learning to do is like, when you don't really know someone, maybe just like swing a little lower, or I don't know. The analogy is just like, don't
take it easy,
gauge that person's sensibility, maybe read the room, and I'm so bad at that for the most part. I like
bad at reading the room.
Well, I'm good at reading the room. I'm just bad at like rifling off the first thing that comes in my head, because it's generally like when I was growing up, I started doing that, and like I remember the moments I got a big laugh, and so like that reinforced me. But I don't remember the moments where I like got beat up or like almost got beat, I got yelled at. There's a lot of those moments that come with all the other moments that are like fun in my head. But this is something I deal with on a daily basis, where I was like, oh, like I'm gonna have to edit that out. Or I don't think people regularly have that issue. Maybe other people do.
Well, I think that if for me, I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, I have so many what would be considered like fucked up thoughts, or like, whatever they might be, that like hanging around people who are constantly offended, it's just so exhausting for me, because it's like you're constantly like, okay, I'm like I have these, I'm used to being a certain way and being able to say certain things, that then to like constantly be checking yourself in this, because I don't know, I lean more towards like wanting to laugh and have fun and joke about shit. So it's like, yeah, being around somebody like that for a half hour or an hour is whatever, like it doesn't bother me. But if it's like, man, this fucking person, like I choose not to hang out with people like that because it's not fun for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking ease up.
I have a few, and I want to take the last few minutes of the pod here to go through as many of these IG questions as possible, because we've kind of always been reserving them towards the very end. We only get a couple in. So I'm going to go through.
We're extra pink today, huh?
We're pink?
I'm very pink today.
Oh, okay. Let's still blame Bryce,
Gabby,
and George and Gabby for that.
Yeah.
And we're on Instagram, Pajama Pants Pod. If you guys, we will usually every couple weeks or so get questions from you guys to ask in the pod. Okay. Memes for Dad 8 asks, how do you like Austin? Jamie.
I love it. I've been here a year. I'm into it. I love it. Really feel like I'm getting to know the city.
So you live what, like 30 minutes away from Austin? And how
from downtown? Yeah.
So how
about
often
30 minutes.
How often do you find yourself downtown?
We're just starting to go more. Now that we have like a regular babysitter and we're, in the groove and the renovation's done, we're venturing more. So, I would say once every 2 weeks. It's still not often because so much of my life here and we're in the midst of sports and I'm working, but that makes it special when we go. And I like that it's not very often.
Or are we going to go when we're
yes.
there, or are we just going to hang?
Well, yeah, so there's this sushi experience here. Rob, do you fuck with sushi?
I fuck with sushi. I love sushi, but I don't fuck with like crazy shit.
Okay.
We also like
what if I told you?
No, but
what if I told you that this?
Well, if I told you
crazy sushi, each bite would be the best bite of food you've ever had in your life.
I'll trust you. I've always trusted you. You've never steered me wrong, Emily.
Jamie,
there's this place called Sushi Bar ATX. It's only 10 people in the room. And it's amasake, so she makes it right there, and it's chef's choice. You can tell them a few fish, like I tell them like no uni, like whatever, a few of the things.
Yeah.
I don't even mind.
They gave me this
I
like
hate eel.
So you tell them that.
Yeah.
It is real expensive, but it's what I've only done once. Cutter and I are actually going next week on a date night. It's so good, and I would love to go when you guys are here and make a reservation.
Did they do it right in front of you?
right there. And she explains it. And
I like
they had this one like bone marrow one.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest bite of food I ever had in my life.
Love bone marrow. Never had bone marrow at a sushi place. Okay, great. Well, we'll do that. Bryn on Scott asks, sorry, I'm butchering the name. Will you guys be restocking your merch anytime soon?
No.
We have no plans, but if you guys tell us that's something you really want.
Yeah.
This, I'm actually wearing it right now. Look at this. This is one of our hoodies.
Yeah, I feel like it's like it's a lot of work.
You like scarcity.
You have to outsource it to people. Otherwise, like the taxes get crazy. So you need to work with like another company. And then the problem becomes like, if some people don't like it, they have to send it back. And then at the end of the day, like we don't really make money off of it. Like,
hey, I still stand behind that we need to come up, I think maybe for the holidays, just one pair of pajama pants, literally pajama pants, like the old school flannel pajama pants, but with our little twist on it.
Philanthropist.
Flannel.
Okay, great. Let's see.
I love you, Amy. Yeah, of course. I think it's a good idea. But okay, why don't you do this? You have nothing going on in your life. Why don't you take the time and design the pajama pants?
I will.
I was kidding.
Guys, if we have, but here's the thing. When we did this, we got a design from a listener. It's a fantastic design.
Oh, yeah.
We already have the channels to get the stuff made. That was something I took on. All you had to do was get hoodies and wear it. And then we got a check. And it was a relatively painless process. It was a small check. But to be honest, I wear the F out of these things.
Me too.
Well, here's what I was thinking. Maybe those are the pajama pants.
How you mean? Oh, this whole design.
Yeah.
Great. That's an idea.
Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, or maybe that's what the Reddit should do this week.
Design us some pajama pants.
Show us your best. Show us what you got.
Guys, I'm, by the way, for the Reddit, I'm officially pardoning Evening Head. Welcome him back into the subreddit. And there's room for Necromechanimals, and there are rooms for Evening Head. And I want it to be a place where people, including Jazz Son and Kasim's my baby daddy, all these people there that are contributing to memes, I want you guys all there living cohesively under one roof. Okay.
Jazz Son was one of the winners. And then hold on, do one more question. And then I got a list of the winners.
Okay. Next question. Okay. Ms. Caitlin asks, favorite holiday tradition.
I love Thanksgiving, just like eating my face off and then watching football. And like, especially when I used to wake up hungover and then you just like eat your face stuff. I just fucking love stuffing so much. It's like just a great.
It's so good. Christmas, just decorating my house.
Yeah. I like the Christmas vibes. I like Christmas morning where, typically the last few years we've brought all the presents over to my parents and we all just spend 3 hours unwrapping gifts. And that's great. But I do love like a 4th of July barbecue. I will throw that in there too. PT Dubs.
Oh, 4th of July barbecue is very good. All right. I just really quick, some winners. Hank's Honey, Maplewood Farms, DJ Midnight, Leah A, Petrie 68. What is that? Taco Catre?
Taco Catre?
Jay Bouched.
These are the iTunes.
Yeah, these are people who reviewed us on iTunes. Thank you so much, guys. And then just get in touch. I just got a Reddit just so I could
look at you.
Yeah, listen, I got a Reddit so that I could contact these wonderful people. And
great.
So go on Reddit. Find me. I don't even know how to do that, or you could DM us or just let us know.
You'd have to give your username out.
Let us know it's you. Yeah, I think my username is Rob Eiler.
Just reach out. If you had a name that was called, find us on our Instagram, find us on Twitter.
I'm gonna post something on Reddit after this, so then you guys could find me on there and you text me and we'll get it going.
If you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button. It helps us out. Click the notification bell. That way you know when our videos go live, which is every Tuesday. We have a subreddit, r/Pajama Pants Podcast. We're almost to 1,000 people in that community. Go ahead and join. And Jamie and I are on Twitter and Instagram as well. Rob is off the grid. And if you want to get in contact with us, an email is also a great way. AskPajamaPants@gmail.com. You guys got anything?
No.
What a pod today, guys. Looking forward to the next one. Appreciate you.